What is up, everybody? I'm Gojo, and I'm giving you guys the next part of what if Goku's family escaped to Earth together. Now, I know it's been a really long time, almost a couple of months since I've actually done this what if. I haven't finished it. Yes, I know, guys. But I've been focusing on more other videos, and I'm not able to do Dragon Ball what ifs for a really long time. I think you guys know why from my other videos that I told you about. So that's why I'm kind of holding off on Dragon Ball What Ifs. But I promise you guys I'll post daily as I usually do. Just I need some time to think to myself. So I hope you guys understand that. It's just the death of Akira Toriyama really affected me a lot. I just don't feel as motivated to do Dragon Ball What Ifs. Yes, I'm still motivated to do them, but not as much as I used to. But I'm remotivated to do them for you guys. And in his honor, I'll continue to do these What Ifs until I can't. So yeah, I hope you guys understand. So without any further ado, let's hit into the video. Now, if you guys remember, Goku, Raditz, Bardock, and Gine have mastered Super Saiyan and are a lot stronger. And we're getting all the way up to the Boo Saga. If you're wondering why there are no Android Saga, it's because Bardock literally destroyed the Red Ribbon army when they arrived on Earth. He wanted to make sure that his boys were safe, so he decided to just make it sure. So no threats can actually hurt them nor attract attention to. So they practically have 7 years of peaceful life. Goku of course still marries Chi-Chi and has Gohan. Like I explained in the previous video, Gohan has much more potential due to him actually being incredibly stronger and not being surprised by his mother's attentions, due to Genie being much more carefree mother, yet still wanting to protect her boys. Raditz of course marries Launch and eventually has his own kid, Ranch. And eventually Ranch and Gohan grew up together. Ranch is younger than Gohan, but Gohan is older than her by 5 years, so he's literally like an older cousin to her. Eventually, of course, Goku is able to teach Gohan how to go Super Saiyan in an early age. Now, if you guys are wondering, yes, Piccolo Jr. will still be here, or Piccolo himself, he will just be trained by Kami and eventually would fuse with him. Eventually, they will train together. Eventually, Piccolo would train with Goku and Raditz to increase their power. Since Bardock has already achieved Master Super Saiyan in Super Saiyan 2, he does not see the point of training a lot further, but he does decide to train a lot as well. Eventually, after a 7 years time skip, they're able to get a lot stronger. Of course, Vegeta is still irritated by how Goku is stronger than him, but he respects him alongside Bardock since he is one of the strongest Saiyans that he knows since low class. He also remembers the time when Bardock taught him a lot, taught him how to survive, to thrive, even through the harsh environments. He remembers Bardock being his mentor. Even when his father could not teach him something, Bardock was there to teach him how the rough life really is. And Vegeta realized that as well. And he respects Goku for being Bardock's son and having the firing spirit of his father. Eventually, Goku and Vegeta also reach Super Saiyan 3 alongside Raditz and Bardock himself. Genie continues to stay on Super Saiyan 2 and masters it after the 7 years time skip. Bardock, Goku, Raditz, and Vegeta himself still have their tails, and they will most likely also achieve Super Saiyan 4. Of course, Bardock still thinks it's weird that it practically destroys their top clothes, which he kind of finds weird, so he does not want Genie to practically have this form because it would be really embarrassing to see his wife completely naked or half naked. So that's why he does not do it, or doesn't let her get the form. Eventually, they continue to train and train a lot. They're a lot stronger due to their intense training. They're also able to use the time chamber and they're able to get a lot stronger. Eventually, by the time of passing, Bardock is still the strongest due to him being the oldest Saiyan. But he was also able to use the Dragon Balls to practically stay in his prime. So he'll be in his 15s while he will most likely reach his limit when he reaches his 100s or 110s. He wants to just increase slightly his lifespan so he does not have to go out of his prime too much. And Ginny respects that since she is slightly younger than Bardock, yet she's really old herself. Of course, both Goku and Raditz are all stronger and still at their prime alongside Vegeta himself. They continue to train and train as well. And eventually, of course, in the threat of Majin Buu, of course, both Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, and Bardock alongside Gina were easy able to take out Buu. Even after he was able to absorb Gohan and Ranch, he's still no match to the same family due to their immense power and strength. Of course, after the defeat of Buu, Goku and Raditz alongside Vegeta will be wondering if there's another higher level than Super Saiyan 4 after achieving it. Of course, Bardock does think that maybe they can use the Dragon Balls to figure out, and they're able to figure out two transformations: Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan 5, a form that is able to be achieved from combining Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan 2, a form that was incredibly powerful. It can only be achieved by a Saiyan who has knowledge of the primal path of a Saiyan. And for from so far they know, Bardock is the only one who has much more experience with it, so he should be the one to get Super Saiyan 5. Bardock, of course, accepts it, so he tries to achieve Super Saiyan 5 by combining Super Saiyan 2 with Super Saiyan 4. It's really difficult and hard, but eventually, after using Time Chamber multiple times, Bardock is able to achieve Super Saiyan 5. It's an incredibly powerful form, at least 100 times stronger than Super Saiyan 4, which is an amazing boost in power. Super Saiyan God is also amazing and strong since they have enough Saiyans. Goku would have become a Super Saiyan God. Vegeta became the first Super Saiyan God. Raza became the second. Gohan became the third. Rancho became the fourth, and Goku became the fifth, and Geo became the sixth. And since she's the sixth, he most likely became much more experienced with God Ki, due to most of the other Saiyans also being Super Saiyan gods or performing the ritual, which would literally make them a godly Saiyans. Of course, Bar decides to just stick with his own variation of a Saiyan route, but he does decide to achieve Super Saiyan God himself. So he just sticks with Super Saiyan God. Eventually, after many years, they're able to master the transformation. They can use it at full potential, also going beyond it, able to achieve Super Saiyan Blue. This form of Super Saiyan Blue is incredibly strong, and since they have mastered Super Saiyan God, they were able to master Super Saiyan Blue afterwards. Goku and Vegeta themselves are trying to achieve a much greater level than Super Saiyan Blue, alongside Raditz himself, while Boruto tries into combining a little bit of the power of Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan 4 to see what it will make. And Boruto is able to create, in this timeline, the canon variation of Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker, which is his strongest transformation by now. Of course, it's slightly weaker than Super Saiyan 5, which is fully mastered and just full power can easily deal with Goku and Vegeta into Super Saiyan God forms. But stacking God Ki on top of Super Saiyan 5 would literally make his form even stronger, making him the strongest Saiyan by far. Of course, Goku and Vegeta are not far away from him, as they're able to combine Super Saiyan God with Super Saiyan 4, creating Super Saiyan 4 God. But of course, Raditz is still lagging behind them, but he's able to increase his power by a miles away due to his training and his inspiration by Vegeta and Goku. Of course, Genie does train and is able to achieve Super Saiyan God Master alongside Blue, but she does not train as hard as her boys since she just wants to spend time with her husband. And Bark is actually kind of the same way as well, but he just enjoys a lot of training, so he does so. Eventually, when Beerus does wake up, he sentences the Super Saiyan gods, fighting as they continue to train. Of course, he asks Whis to bring to teleport him to the Super Saiyan gods, as Whis nods and teleports him to where Goku, Vegeta, Bardock, and Raditz are training, as they are in their Super Saiyan god forms, clashing with one another. Eventually, they'll spot Beerus, and eventually Vegeta will remember who Beerus is, explaining to everyone when they must be humble and not irritate Beerus. Of course, I was thinking is actually surprised that Vegeta is actually frightened by Beerus. And Vegeta explains that in the past, Beerus was easily able to knew his father, even without using any of his true power. And this just shocks everyone. Not even using his true power, yet he was still able to knew King Vegeta. Remember, King Vegeta was stated to be one of the strongest Saiyan elites, with him being a base power level of 12,000, which will literally make him a lot stronger. Now, if you guys remember, King Vegeta was able to be at 12,000, which is an incredibly impressive feat. So yeah. Of course, Bardock will be impressed by Beerus, and he will decide to fight him. Of course, which is kind of surprised that Bardock does want to fight Beerus head on, but Bardock does not actually have any problem with it. He actually wants to join this fight, so he does so. Eventually, Beerus decides to also join in the fight, and eventually fights against Bardock. At first, Bardock is not performing very good in his base form. When he uses Super Saiyan 3, he's performing way better, but it's still not enough for Beerus. And when he transforms to Super Saiyan 4, this actually gains appearance that Bardock is now really trying. And Beerus is actually pushed back a little bit. Beerus himself is surprised by this. Eventually, Bardock uses Super Saiyan God on top of his Super Saiyan 4, once again achieving Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker. And with this power, he's able to push Beerus around, with Beerus using more of his power to counter out Bardock. But Bardock is able to easily deal with most of the attacks and eventually power up into Super Saiyan 5 Limit Breaker. The power from this transformation alone is able to shake the entire universe 7. If Beerus is surprised by his power, is used 100%. As both Bardock and Beerus clash with one another, seemingly as they're shaking the entire universe 7 with just their clashes alone. Beerus tries into using a little bit of Ultra Instinct, but due to Bardock's raw power alone, he's able to counter out Beerus' speed by his own. Eventually, Goku, Rise, and Vegeta decide to also join. Using Step 4 Blue, is he joining Bardock. Bardock is easier handling his own, but thanks to both Goku, Vegeta, and Rise joining, they're able to turn the tables on Beerus. That is until Beerus uses Ultra Instinct and knocks all of them out. Of course, he had to have an opening, which they provided him by charging their attacks, and that was the opening Beerus needed. So that's why he was able to defeat them. But if they didn't give him the opening, he most likely could have lost. And he's still impressed by how far they have gone, and he's impressed by Bardock himself. Beerus says that Bardock could be the perfect candidate for a god of destruction, but Bardock refuses, seemingly as he does not see himself as a destroyer, more like a protector. But Beerus does respect Bardock's choice. Eventually, he decides to train them all on his planet. Of course, we see that they're able to achieve forms beyond his teachings, so he decides to just teach them the basics of Ultra Instinct. Bardock and Goku are actually close to that level of Ultra Instinct. They can already almost move their bodies on their own while using their highest transformations, while Bardock and Rats and Vegeta are not like that. So Beerus has to train the others, that being Vegeta and Raditz, and they're going the path of the Destroyer, while Goku and Bardock may be going on the path of the Angels. But Bardock is actually curious. He actually wants to learn Ultra Instinct, the basic form of it, but not the full extent of it. He wants to maybe combine the promised instinct of the Saiyans with Ultra Instinct and to see what he will be able to create with it. Of course, Whis is not against it, so he decides to let Bardock do that. And Bardock is glad that Whis respect his decision. But guys, this is the end of the sport. See you guys in the next one. Sayonara, my Z fans. Bye.